Good morning, dear cadets. So today perhaps I am teaching the last class of UPSC. So I will cover so many important aspects that is related with the some important chemical compounds. So yesterday means in the last video I taught you the glass. Today I am teaching you ink. What is the ink? Ink is nothing but a organic dye. What is there? Organic dye. Now different types of ink are there. Aniline ink and Orangel ink. Okay. Now on the basis of color, blue, black, green, different kinds of ink is there. But actually they are of two types on the basis of raw material used. So the first time ink was prepared from coal and resin. From coal and resin. First time ink was prepared from coal and resin. Okay. So two types are here. The first one is the aniline ink. Second one is Orangel ink. Okay. So just see raw material for aniline ink. So raw material for aniline ink is eosin, glycerine, carbonic acid and phenol. Okay. These are the raw material. Always remember resin means carbonic acid and boric acid. Carbonic acid and boric acid, they are added to the ink as a fungicide, because if you keep ink for long period of time, so fungus may develop there. So to kill the growth of fungus, what is there? To arrest the, better to say, to arrest the growth of fungus, boric acid and carbonic acid is added. Okay. Glycerine is used in the manufacturing of stamp pad. Stamp pad you might have seen. So glycerine is used. Resin or glue or gum for shine. Now just see here basically how many materials are there. Eosin is there, glycerine is there. So glycerine is basically used in the stamp pad. And this one resin, glue or gum, they are used for sign. They are used for sign. Okay. So just remember, now ink is colored as well as shiny also. Some ink are very shiny. So what is the meaning of shiny ink? Means more amount of resin or glue is used. Now try to understand, to make the ink colored, some special substances are added. So just see, for obtaining blue and black ink, what is added? For obtaining blue and black ink, naphthalene black is added. Naphthalene black is added. Blue color ink, methylene blue is added. Red color, eosin or Congo red. Green color, malachite green. Black color, aniline black. So just see, we are using different colors of ink. So how they will become different colors? So just see, blue black ink because of the addition of naphthalene black. Blue color ink, methylene blue. Red color because of the addition of Congo red. Green color because of the addition of malachite green. And black color because of aniline black. So this is the full story of aniline ink. Now what is the Orangel ink? Orangel ink, whatever raw material is used for making the Orangel ink, will tell that also. So raw material for Orangel ink. So just see, this is also one of the important ink. And for the manufacturing of this ink, resin, glue or gum arabic, glycerine, these are used. Okay. Alcohol, spirit or phenol is also used. Tannic acid and gallic acid is used in blue black ink. So just see, this is the list of raw material only for Orangel ink. Okay. Tannic acid and gallic acid is used in blue black ink. Ferrous sulfate and dilute hydrochloric acid are main constituent of this ink. So just see, in addition to all these constituent, the chief constituent of this type of ink is ferrous sulfate and dilute hydrochloric acid. Iron sulfate, ferrous sulfate and dilute hydrochloric acid. These are the main constituent of this ink. And just see, this is not very common ink, this is very special kind of ink, isn't it? That is why so many raw materials are used here: resin, glue, gum arabic, glycerine, alcohol, spirit, phenol, so many things are there, and all constituents have got their important functions. Okay, and some of the functions in the first type of ink I told you. Okay, so in this way ink is completed. Now second important compound is paper. So just see, the second one is paper. So what is the chief constituent of paper? The chief constituent of paper is cellulose. Cellulose is used as a raw material for the manufacturing of paper. Okay, paper is prepared by boiling the small pieces of rags. Rags, you know or not, used papers. Okay, now some grasses, okay, pieces of wood, especially bamboo sticks, they are used. Along with that one, caustic soda is added. So here caustic soda is added. Why it is added? After cooling, the mixture is bleached to a perfect white paste. Actually caustic soda is here bleaching agent, it bleaches. Okay, after cooling, the mixture is bleached to a perfect white paste. Now in this perfect white paste, some amount of alum and white clay is added. Resin is also added. So why they are added? Alum, white clay, resins, they are added to the white paste so that the thin sheet can be prepared. And once the thin sheet is prepared, it can be dried with the help of steam and cut into desired shape. So once again, the paper is nothing but a cellulose. What is this one? Cellulose is used as a raw material for the manufacturing of paper. So from where you will get the cellulose? Cellulose you will get from the wood. Okay, that is why in the manufacturing of paper a lot of amount of trees are cut. Okay, so that is why save the paper so that trees can be saved. Okay, this is there. The chief constituent of paper is cellulose only. In addition to the cellulose, some pieces of wood, grass, old rags, these are being added. Okay, but the chief constituent of paper is cellulose only. And bleaching of white paste is very much required. If bleaching is not done, then paper will not be proper color and will not have ability to be written by the ink. Okay, so it should be the good quality. So dear cadets, now next one is the gunpowder. So you might have heard about the gunpowder. Gunpowder chief constituents are charcoal or sugar. This is used as a fuel. Next one is potassium nitrate or sodium nitrate. This is oxidizer. What is this one? Oxidizer. Sulfur is also used. What is the function of sulfur? Lower the ignition temperature and stabilize the reaction. So what are the chief constituent of gunpowder? The chief constituent of gunpowder is charcoal, potassium nitrate or sodium nitrate and sulfur. Okay, and all three have got their different function. Charcoal is used as a fuel, potassium nitrate and sodium nitrate is used as a oxidizer, and sulfur is to stabilize the reaction and to decrease the ignition temperature. Now just try to understand. Gunpowder, they are found in the small granules. Okay, so small granules are coated with the graphite. So what is the function of graphite? Graphite is doing here basically two works. Number one, if it is coated in the gunpowder granules, then what is there? Its moisture absorption capacity will reduce. So graphite layer is preventing the moisture absorption capacity. That is the first thing. Okay, second one thing, what is there? Try to understand. Now in the gunpowder so many chemical substances are used. So sometime what is there, due to the friction of air, charge is built up on the granules of gunpowder. But if it is coated with graphite, then what is there, it will prevent the building up of new charge. So graphite also prevents the build up of electrostatic charge to prevent accidental ignition. So if graphite is coated, so gunpowder will not come into contact of air, and now because of friction, because of rubbing, charge will not develop and accidental ignition will not be there. Okay. When gunpowder is exploded, basically two gases are evolved. One is nitrogen, other is CO2 in the ratio of 1:3. In this way, this is also completed. Another important compound is matchstick. What is there? Match or matches. Okay. So just try to understand. In Tamil Nadu, there is one district, Sivkasi, okay, Sivkasi, that is very famous for matchbox industry and as well as for the firecrackers industry, okay. So just try to understand, in the matches, safety matches, basically two things are there. One is the head means there is one stick, and at its head something chemical substance are used. When you rub that head to the surface of matchbox, then what is there, it ignite, okay, it produce heat or burns, okay. So matchstick head contains antimony trisulfide and potassium chlorate. What is there? KClO3. Now second, these are the two things, plus nothing is there. Now earlier what was there? White phosphorus, red phosphorus, all these things were used, okay. Actually white phosphorus and red phosphorus, they are the poisonous. So nowadays they are not being used. Just see, especially white phosphorus use is almost banned, okay. So this is the matchstick head constituents. What about the rubbing surface? Rubbing surface. At the rubbing surface, what is there? Glass powder. What is there? Glass powder plus red phosphorus is used. Red phosphorus. This is red phosphorus, okay, red phosphorus. So try to understand. Now just see. So at the rubbing surface, glass powder and red phosphorus is used. So just you remember these two things. Now mechanism of production of heat I will tell. Just try to understand what is happening. When you are rubbing the head to the rubbing surface, then in the rubbing surface what you have used? Red phosphorus. Small amount of red phosphorus will be converted into white phosphorus, and you know the ignition temperature of white phosphorus is very less. So now white phosphorus now will catch the fire, and that will catch the fire and transfer their heat to the antimony trisulfide, Sb2S3. Now Sb2S3 will start burning. Now it will ignite the potassium chlorate. So when it will ignite the potassium chlorate, now potassium chlorate sustain the flame for long period of time. Long period means not 1 or 2 hour, means 2 minutes, 1 minute it will sustain, okay. And once potassium chlorate catches the fire, now it will sustain, and it will means their flame will be little bit large also, okay. So the functioning of matches start from the conversion of red, starts from the rubbing of matchstick head to the rubbing surface, and with the rubbing, red phosphorus will be converted into white phosphorus. White phosphorus will ignite the antimony trisulfide will ignite the potassium chlorate. Okay, so what is the function of glass powder? Glass powder make the rubbing surface coarse, okay. So these are the things, okay. In this way your gunpowder is also completed. Now in this chapter some small topics are also there. Just see, plastics, okay. Now next one is cement. Already cement I have covered in the 11th class. Plastics are there. Now paints are there. Now fibers are there. Fertilizers are there. So just see, these are the small things, and you know, like fertilizers in the nitrogenous compound, I told you so many things about that one, okay. Paints, basically the chief constituent of paints are tarpene, turpentine, oil and alcohol, and different coloring agents, okay. What kind of paints you would like to have. So in this way your portion is completely completed. Now wishing you all the best for the UPSC exam. I am hoping that coming 6th of September your UPSC exam will be held and you will come up or you will return with the flying colors. Now with this hope and belief that this time you have stayed with your parents, you have got the plenty of study materials, plenty of support from your parents, plenty of time, so your preparation is far better than earlier one, and I am hoping that this time you will make school proud, you will make us also proud. So thank you very much. Now once again wishing you all the best for the UPSC exam. From my side whatever was possible I did. Thank you.